We've gotten to the point in the season now where the CFP committee is punishing Big 12 teams for winning games, and it is absolutely ridiculous. This is an emergency episode of Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You know, I believe it was noted philosopher Lord Business from the Lego Movie that said this is a bunch of hippy-dippy baloney. I believe he was actually talking about the latest CFP rankings whenever he said that. What's going on, everybody? Lance Dahl here, filling in for Drake Toll on the Locked On Big 12 podcast, the number one Big 12 podcast in America on the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network. New CFP rankings are out, and of course, once again, the committee doesn't learn their lesson. They aren't changing their ways. BYU getting hosed. But the more interesting thing to me that I want to talk about here first is, for some odd reason, we have just decided that winning games against what I think are respectable opponents is punishable by law. We should just lock these teams up, throw them in jail. They should not be in the college football playoff. Latest CFP rankings have Utah now behind Miami. The Hurricanes move up a spot after beating the lifeless Virginia Tech Hokies. Oh, what an incredible program. What an incredible team Virginia Tech is. Let's slide them up over Utah, who went and played what I think is a respectable Kansas State team. And the committee, the broadcast said something I thought were just ridiculously stupid. Oh, the reason that Utah is sliding down is because they gave up all those yards. They want a shootout. Heaven forbid a team have a little offense in today's day and age. Heaven forbid a team score some points, right? Miami coming in at number 12, BYU not moving an inch, coming in at number 11. I don't get it. It's the same story every week. And Drake talked about it last week. You can go and look at a number of these teams that are above BYU, Utah. Look at their resumes. Look at who they've beaten. Look at who they've lost to. And it does not make any sense why a one-loss BYU team is sitting behind Alabama, sitting behind Notre Dame, sitting behind Oregon, possibly. It does not make sense to me at all. The Cougars, up until this point, have done what they're supposed to do. They've gone out, they've won the games that they have, and yes, they've taken one loss to a top 10 team, top 5 team at this point. What else are they supposed to do? I don't get it. I do not understand. And you look again at Miami, which I do want to pull up their schedule here real quick. What have they done? What have they done in the ACC to merit a top 12 ranking? They've beaten South Florida. Cool. That team's not ranked anymore. They've beaten what at the time was number 18 Florida State, who is dog water. Actually, Drake said the same thing last week. And then you go and look, they've lost to SMU and Louisville, two unranked opponents, SMU now ranked. They haven't done anything to merit a spot above Utah, who has gone out and done the dirty work. They did beat a top 25 team in Arizona State. They did beat number 17 Cincinnati. They lost in a close game to number 11 BYU. The resume is better. The quality of win is better. The quality of loss is better. Does not make any sense at all. And then you want to look at a team like Notre Dame, who I have had a history of dogging on. Who have they beaten? USC? Okay, cool. You've lost to that Miami team, who I don't think is very good. You've lost to that Texas A&M team. You gave up 40 at home. It's the same thing. This is the exact same thing that we were talking about a week ago. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed here. And now that we're heading into the final week of the season, we're heading into rivalry week. I don't know if anything will. What does BYU have to do to get some respect from the committee? I understand you win, you get into the Big 12 title game. At this point, they should not be on the outside looking in. They should be in. They should be in over a 2-loss team like Alabama, over a 2-loss team like Notre Dame. Oregon, I don't think, has a resume that's worth anything. Losing by 10 at home to Indiana is basically the only notable thing that they've done this season. Outside of that, they've not played an opponent worth their salt at all. The Cougars have. The Utes have. Heaven forbid a conference have a little bit of parity. Heaven forbid a conference have a little bit of chaos. It is strictly because of the label, the name, the brand, the logo of these teams. If you stripped all of that away, which I actually do want to do here real quick as an exercise, if you stripped all of that away, I think that you would start to realize that the Big 12 committee, the College Football Playoff Committee, is shorting the Utes and the Cougars. Blind college football resume time here. This is a tweet from @CrimsonCast. Let's compare these two teams. You tell me who you'd rather have. Team A is 10-1 with a strength of record that is 6th in the nation. FPI has them 15th. Their best win is against the number 8 team, according to the FPI. Worst loss is to the FPI number 7. Their strength of schedule is 28th. Team B, 9-2. Strength of record is number 12. FPI has them 3rd. Their best win is against the FPI number 11. Worst loss is against the FPI number 9. And their strength of schedule is number 34. Who are you taking there? Who are you taking? Because the reality is that Team A, that's BYU. Team B, that's Notre Dame. Notre Dame has not beaten BYU in literally any of those major categories outside of FPI. And I could not care less about what some ESPN computer model thinks about the Big 12 relative to teams like Notre Dame or teams from the SEC. It's baked in bias. It's bull crap. It's about star power. It's about recruiting rankings. It's about history. It's not about this season. The computer models are off. But what we can tell you is that BYU has less losses. And if you go and just watch the teams that they're playing, it's clear the quality is so much different. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed this week. Utah gets screwed. Now they get dropped, fading on the bubble after winning a game. Heaven forbid we win a game. And BYU doesn't move at all. At all. Alabama heading into the Iron Bowl this weekend needs a win desperately to stay on the bubble. BYU and Utah obviously need to win. I mean, there's going to be a lot of interesting things to come out of rivalry weekend and then obviously conference championship weekend. But as of right now, the committee has clearly not learned their lesson. They haven't learned anything. Nothing is going to change. Nothing's going to change. What I can tell you, though, is that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Guys, the NBA is back. College basketball is back. There's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game, you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel is live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game more exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA and of college basketball. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Filling in for Drake Toll here on the Locked On Big 12 podcast. Obviously going to be talking more at length about these ridiculous college football playoff rankings. Utah getting hosed. BYU not moving at all. Doesn't make any sense to me. This is a Locked On Big 12 podcast.